the opportunity gap for Black and Latino students. This means we have to fight against centuries of racism and oppression, and the only way that we could accomplish this is together. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gomez. Bridget Wade.
We're here standing in front of a wall of vans because the Kolache factory most generously did a drive where they raised.
Hello, everybody. I'm here tonight, first of all, to say thank you. I want to thank everybody for their time, effort, talents, and gifts. I also want to thank those who are for and opposed to this DOI. I love the fact that people care this much about these issues, how valuable our children are in this city. So I thank you, first of all, for all of this. I come, and I'll just say this, I stand in full support of the DOI presentation and the DOI product that you all brought to light tonight. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Savant Moore.
Buenas noches, su voto esta noche es crucial. Consideren se beneficia a la comunidad y va de acuerdo con sus deseos. A pesar de los tiempos decisivos y un líder polémico, conten con el corazón y la conciencia que Dios los bendiga a todos a ISD. Good evening. Your vote tonight is crucial. Consider if it benefits the community and aligns with their wishes. Despite divisive times and a polarizing leader, vote with your heart and conscience. May God bless HISD and you.
Thank you. Karina Quesada.
Those of you appointed by the state should not vote in favor. Taking exemptions from state law should only be considered under local control. This district has had the ability to hire uncertified teachers since 1995. Becoming a DOI makes things opaque and ripe for abuse. Your approval of this plan enables the district to continue with its toxic work environment, causing teachers to leave and facilitating the hiring of unqualified people who won't know any better, won't question, and will only teach to the test. And to be clear, it doesn't matter what the plan says. Legally, the district is not bound to hire uncertified teachers for high school only. Furthermore, any child who has been promoted by grade placement committee must have a certified teacher. DOI cannot exempt you from that legal requirement, nor the requirement to have certified bilingual sped ed teachers. Lastly, but everyone is doing it was not acceptable justification when we were teenagers, and it continues to be poor reasoning now. This plan is a word salad without convincing or sound rationale. If the committee were more knowledgeable, they would know that the district already has a lot of flexibility under Texas Education Code. You should read it.
Thank you, Ms. Quesada. Catherine Danas.
Good afternoon. Mr. Mouse, I don't see you, but I'd like to say good afternoon to you and the Board of Managers. Mr. Mouse, you came to our community to help our district. You are assisting HISD by dismantling public education and helping Abbott and Morath push their voucher plan through. Board of Managers, you're supposed to represent our community, but instead you pandered to a megalomaniac, a person who is obsessed with their own power. Your DOI plan is a disgrace to the community, a shame to education, and a disservice to the children enrolled in HISD schools. Expanding the school days without compensation and break will cause burnout in teachers and students. Teachers are already burned out because they're afraid to take days off for sickness and mental health. You, Mike Miles, have created a culture of fear and intimidation where dissenting voices are silenced and dismissed. After all, you, Mike Miles, threatened to fire them if they are absent too many times. Mr. Miles, where are you here today, sir? Please vote no on the District of Innovation Plan and support the teachers and students within our district.
Thank you. Richard Morris.
I'll be quick. Good evening, everyone. the harmful takeover of HISD. It is shameful and alarming to our district how this hostile takeover has affected our children and community. Our most vital and essential asset, our children, are important to us. We, the community, want what is in their best interest. We will continue to be vocal and speak out on these injustices. We, the stakeholders, have no authority in the district that we pay taxes and send our children to. This is insane. Our children are presently performing poorly and suffering from academic inequality, as noted by Mr. Miles himself in his statement to the news media, that over 80 schools are projected to receive a failing grade. This is unacceptable. He came into a district with a B+ rating. Also, we must keep in mind that prior to receiving the B+ rating, no schools in America were evaluated for 2 years, 2020 and 21, due to COVID. Our elected officials continue to implement legislation to disenfranchise and rob our children of the vital financial assets and resources needed to support their academic success by creating an autocracy and pushing vouchers.
Thank you,
It's
Mr.
shameful.
Morris. Tricia Bishop Watt.
Follow the progress and stay informed at ridemetro.org/metronext.
Hi, I'm Trista Bishop Watt, representing Houston GPS. I want to thank the Innovation Committee and the District Advisory Committee as a whole for your thoughtful engagement throughout this process. HISD becoming a district of innovation is long overdue. 95% of Texas school districts are DOI. We know there are a lot of hot button issues in HISD right now, but this shouldn't be one of them. In reviewing the innovation plan, there is not one proposed exemption that is not already claimed by a multitude of other Texas districts, including many in the Houston area. HISD is the one lagging behind in this. We know teacher certification remains the most discussed exemption. Opponents of innovation will try to use it to halt this progress. To be clear, 96% of DOI districts, including several Houston districts, have claimed an exemption from teacher certification. There is a critical nationwide teacher shortage. The DOI plan commits to even more stringent standards for certification exemptions than the TEA waiver process used by the district every school year. A vote for this DOI plan is a vote for a higher bar for certification exemptions. Thank you.
Thank you. Jesse Heiner.
Good evening. My name is Jessie, and I am a longtime volunteer of my neighborhood NESA Elementary School, which serves students where 94% are economically disadvantaged, 40% are EB, and 16% receive special education services, twice the HISD average. Our parents and educators have reported that many staff members from the first day of school are no longer there. Under Mr. Miles, 54 HISD schools have experienced principal changes in just 5 months. Under Mr. Miles, Dallas saw a 22% teacher turnover rate. If similar, HISD stands to lose over 2,000 teachers. Educators are warning us that the proposed DOI will have more consequences that are negatively impacting students than positively. If you pass the DOI and we lose thousands of high-quality frontline educators because of it, what student populations do you think that will impact the most? Please vote no on the DOI proposal. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Heiner. Jessica Campos. You already went. Tracy Riley. Okay, Christina Acosta, Mickey Banks, or Tracy Riley. Okay, we're going to transition to our speakers who are joining us via Zoom. And our first speaker is Judith Cruz.
Ms. Cruz, you can turn on your camera and begin.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you may begin.
Buenas tardes, DAC and DOI. My name is Judith Cruz. I'm a trustee and parent and the Texas Assistant Director for the Education Trust. Thank you for the time and hard work you put into this plan. Becoming a district of Education will allow the district the flexibility needed to meet the needs of our students, and I believe that it's exactly what is at the core of this plan. We know the traditional school calendar only for some, but not most students. As a trustee, when monitoring data, we witnessed year over year that students regressed from the end of the year to the beginning of the year, and sometimes by double digits. HISD should take a proactive role in tackling teacher vacancies in the long term by making high quality preparation pathways more acceptable and affordable for diverse candidates. Allowing the exemption for teacher certification requirements, a short-term solution, particularly for CTE teachers, will benefit students by having a teacher the entire year. We have the chance to take action and benefit students now. I respectfully ask you to consider what your vote today means for our students. Gracias.
Thank you, Ms. Cruz. Lauren Simmons. Dr. Pamela J. Boveland.
Dr. Boveland, you may turn on your camera and begin.
Good evening. Oh, that's my hair. There we go. Sorry. Good evening. When I first heard about District of Innovation, I envisioned a new and exciting classroom experience like project-based learning, interdisciplinary instruction was going to be at the core. Yes. Oh, it was going to be at the core to try to provide exciting learning environments for our children. That was not the case. Instead, DOI is just a laundry list of violations of the law made legitimate by exemption. It's silly that the largest school district in Texas is not leading the way toward creating exciting learning experiences. Test prep is not quality instruction. Uncertified teachers do not produce a high performance culture. This plan is a farce. The plan is just an expansion of F. Miles's ego, and the plan will only increase the exodus of dedicated and talented non-robotic teachers. Please do not approve this plan.
Jennifer Matthew Blessington.
Well, I mean, every holiday, every birthday, every significant day, I mean, there's an empty chair at our table. I mean, it's not easy.
David and Wendy Mills' home in spring decorated for the holidays. Stockings hung on a fire.
Jennifer Blessington, you may turn on your camera and begin.
I'm an HISD teacher with 19 years of experience. I'd like to remind everyone that not a single teacher or administrator is on the DOI committee. While I'm not opposed to the DOI in theory and can find good in the exemptions related to college visits in the vape law, this proposal gives far too much freedom to an administration that has not yet earned it. Why would we trust them to listen to us on the calendar when they revise this year's calendar at the last minute without asking for feedback? Why would we trust them to listen to us on teacher appraisal when teachers have been begging for spot forms to be aligned with T-tests and this hasn't been done? Why would we trust them to listen to us when the superintendent and a member of the board were caught on a mic hoping for a small number of registered speakers before a November board meeting? We're facing a teacher retention crisis next year, and I don't believe the small gains in this proposal are worth the risk of losing even more terrific teachers. I know many of you have wanted DOI for a while, but now is not the time. Please vote no.
Thank you, Ms. Blessington. Anita Wadwa.
I need to start speaking at high schools and connecting with these kids and letting them know that this is something serious.
Now the Kaylee Mills Foundation spreads awareness about seatbelt safety in schools through presentations and events. They've assisted more than 80 families and provided more than $400,000 to help rebuild the lives of families going through
Anita Wadwa, you may turn on your camera and begin.
Good evening. Under normal circumstances with an elected board, I might not care about whether HISD turned into a DOI. After all, who could disagree that the vaping law does not perpetuate the school-to-prison pipeline? However, Miles and this board don't have the stature or trust of the public to be able to be given free rein on all choices made for my daughters. There's no indication that if we give them an inch, they won't take a yard. If we advocate for uncertified high school teachers, when will you seek exemption for all teachers? Weren't we taken over due to the mistaken notion that one high school had not had an uncertified math teacher for years? Without transparency, there can be no DOI. Vote no, or vote yes with people who thought it fit to fire a highly accomplished veteran teacher whose adult child has cancer. This is the level to which we have sunk. There is no nuance with Mike Miles. It's his way or the highway. If you give him an inch, he'll take a yard. The community is watching you, and we will remember your vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Sarah Rivlin.
Sarah Rivlin, you may turn on your camera and begin.
Well, the most important thing is that we want to raise awareness. We don't want another family to lose another child. And we want
Okay. Teacher certification requires a year of classroom observation, student teaching, and passing content knowledge exams. Teacher experience matters. New teachers require a lot of support, and most schools don't have the resources to support them. For this reason, they're more likely to quit. Miles wants you to believe that teacher certification is a formality, which is preventing highly qualified applicants from teaching in HISD. He is wrong. Our newest hires have been both uncertified and inexperienced. Inexperienced teachers are always a liability, but certification helps. Certification indicates some experience and training. A nationwide teacher shortage should be met with better working conditions to retain experienced teachers, not desperately hiring a revolving door of novice teachers. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rivlin. Yvonne Martinez.
Yvonne Martinez, you may turn on your camera and begin.
Tonight at 9. It started as a car accident, but that
We can't hear you.
Ms. Martinez, you're on mute.
Good evening. I'm an HIC parent who has been a school volunteer for over 10 years at Title I schools. I'm asking you to vote no tonight. Our teachers do not have any confidence in our current leadership. Our families do not have any confidence in our current leadership. Unless you engage teachers in a more meaningful way, these changes will further alienate our teachers and families. If that means delaying this vote, so be it. We want all students to have an experienced, certified teacher next school year. I'm asking you to vote no tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Martinez. Viviana Morales. Jackie White Anderson.
Oil change is done. That was so fast I didn't even have time to finish knitting these sweaters. Oh well.
Jackie Anderson, please turn on your camera and begin. Jackie Anderson, please turn on your camera and begin.
Yes, I am Jackie Anderson, president of the Houston Federation of Teachers. The District of Innovation proposed by F. Mike Miles that is being presented tonight for approval is a Trojan horse. The DOI will act as a blank check to an unelected board and an uncertified superintendent. It gives those that are unaccountable to us the permission to dismiss state education regulations that are in the best interest of our children. This is no innovation. There is nothing innovative about the plan. There's nothing innovative about changing the rules of the game. In fact, it's true. It's seeking a pass from being held to the state minimum standards. Instead of seeking a pass, HISD and BOM should focus on providing a quality education and a positive learning environment of fear and intimidation to all children, regardless of zip code. Members of the DAC have expressed that stakeholders speaking tonight are too ignorant for their voices to matter, and that is problematic. Members of the DAC, do you know that the plan can be
Thank you, Ms.
modified?
Anderson. Your time has ended. Andrea Negri.
Andrea Negri, you may turn on your camera and begin. Andrea Negri, you can turn on your camera and begin.
According to the Houston Chronicle's reporting, Mr. Miles says he promises to uphold the implementation guidelines for the DOI. As you prepare to vote, I would like to remind you of other promises that he's made this school year. Miles told the Chronicle editorial board that teachers at highly rated schools wouldn't feel much difference this year. We now know that to be untrue. They have to post LOs and DOLs, pace their lessons with a timer, implement a prescribed list of MRSs, and receive multiple observations a week. This summer, parents fought to keep language about magnet schools in board policy, and last week, almost all of the language about school choice was stripped from the board's educational philosophy. He told NBC News in August that students in NES schools would still have access to books, but students in these schools told Houston Landing their ability to get to these books is limited. Keep these promises in mind as you weigh today's guarantees, and thank you all for your service.
Thank you. Jasmine Colvin.
Jasmine Colvin, you may turn on your camera and begin.
Good evening. I am Jasmine Colvin, representing Good Reason Houston. The DAC is a council of stakeholders in HISD assigned the dutiful task of working with the board of managers and superintendent as they implement plans to propel these students forward. As you consider your vote on DOI, please consider the following. A longer school year is tied to increased achievement and can support efforts to close achievement gaps among student populations, especially those most struggling academically. Zero tolerance discipline policies like expulsion for first-time vaping perpetuate the school-to-prison pipeline, which disproportionately impacts students of color. With localized autonomy, student learning environment, and thus achievement are less impacted. Chronic absenteeism has various roots that include work conflicts, social challenges, trauma, and academic struggles, all of which have a negative impact on student outcomes. By allowing blended learning opportunities through the course credit exemption, districts can improve the post-secondary success. Please vote yes to district
Thank you, Ms.
innovation.
Colvin. Melissa Yarborough.
It's Siri. And it's McKay as your last name? McKay is the last name. Okay, great. Thanks so much. Siri, please.
Melissa Yarborough, you may turn on your camera and begin.
Hi, thank you. I want to speak about the hiring of uncertified teachers, which is very problematic to me as both a teacher and a parent with two children in HISD. So I hear that you're all stakeholders. Are you stakeholders in the same way that I am? Are your children going to have uncertified teachers? Are you going to be the one who doesn't get the letter informing you that your children's teachers are uncertified? Please listen to the parents who don't want our children to be in these overcrowded classrooms with untrained teachers. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Yarborough. Claudia Rios.
Claudia Rios is not on Zoom at this time.
Sarah Collins.
Sarah Collins, you may turn on your camera and begin.
Good evening. The state took over Houston ISD and now wants exemptions from their own laws. Why? Mike Miles has already stacked your committee with people he's chosen in order to get his way. So where is the limit? Why should we trust him to implement the DOI with fidelity when it's been proven that he doesn't follow through on promises and makes last-minute changes that are confusing and chaotic for everyone? This is not a pattern that is worthy of trust. Data from the state of Texas itself shows that uncertified teachers do not stay in the field. There's already a way to hire them under waivers, so why is the DOI necessary? Under DOI, the only difference is eliminating the notification to parents about uncertified teachers and the fact that uncertified teachers cannot legally teach SPED or bilingual students, and there is no exemption for that. One of the original reasons for the takeover was the idea that Kashmir had an uncertified math teacher for a number of years. If that was true and used as a reason to justify the takeover, then why are we looking to hire uncertified teachers now?
Thank you, Ms. Collins. Christine Hurley.
Christine Hurley, you may turn on your camera and begin.
To become a district of innovation and utilize exemptions to improve student outcomes, there must be a foundation of reliability, which we've yet to experience with this board. During campus walkthroughs, Miles and the board say they see happy and successful students, teachers, and staff. The truth is, the days they visit are the height of stress and intimidation for the entire school staff. The board's perspective is not reality, and they deny, dismiss, and invalidate the lived experiences of students and the school community by not acknowledging the toxic work environment now permeating HISD. If they truly had HISD's best interests in mind, they would cultivate a transparent relationship with the community and use the feedback they've received to course correct. As it stands, I strongly urge the committee to reject the DOI proposal on the basis the current leadership does not lead with fidelity and cannot be trusted to utilize these exemptions in a beneficial way.
Thank you, Ms. Hurley.
Yep.
Maria Benzon.
I don't think it's improved screening. The message about guidelines for screening for diabetes.
Maria Benzon, you may turn on your camera and begin.
Hi, my name is Maria Benzon. Thank you for your service on the DAC. I'm concerned with the exemption on developing a local teacher appraisal system because it will not foster teacher and student motivation. The focus is on the wrong outcomes. Even though it is not in the DOI plan, Mr. Miles has already proposed a model where teachers would be evaluated based on the school action plan, student achievement, student surveys, and teacher performance on walkthroughs. The district plan drives the school action plan, and the district has shown that they are obsessed with over-testing our students. In addition to the STAR test, which is based on state TEKS, now teachers and students have to worry about growth on national norm-referenced MAP tests. HISD schools will become a place of more testing and more test prepping, not a place of more learning. Vote no on the DOI plan. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Benzon. Sarah Lyons.
She is not on Zoom at this time.
Diana Candida.
Diana Candida, please turn on your camera and you may begin.
Of the cells that produce insulin. So as a result, type 1 diabetes must be
Hi, this is Diana Candida. Let me just pull up my speech. Sorry, I wasn't ready because I had to be somewhere. Okay. My name is Diana Candida. I'm a concerned parent who opposes DOI. The board unquestioningly rubber stamps all of Mike Miles's proposals. By approving the DOI, the guardrails are being taken off, resulting in an increased rate of destruction of Houston's public education system. One of the DOI proposals I'm against is the exemption to hire uncertified teachers. The turnover rate for uncertified teachers is typically higher than for certified teachers. The quality of instruction is lower. In addition, there is a higher proportion of uncertified teachers in low-income schools. This exemption will increase the inequality. If you want better outcomes and success for all HISD students, vote no on DOI. If you want high-quality education for students, vote no on DOI. The quality of education and culture has already suffered since the TEA takeover. DOI will make it worse. Vote no on DOI.
Thank you, Ms. Candida. Dana Sangerhausen.
Dana Sangerhausen, you may turn on your camera and begin.
Okay, can you hear me? Great. So my name is Dana Sangerhausen. I'm a parent of 2 children at schools in ISD. I'd like to express my concerns regarding the proposed modern staffing exemption. So certification should be non-negotiable when we define what makes a teacher qualified. There's no amount of enthusiasm that can compensate for certification in a professional field. I ask you, would you use services from a health practitioner, plumber, or hairstylist who has not achieved certification in their field? Certification establishes a baseline of training shown to meet minimum acceptable outcomes. This exemption would create a burden on experienced teachers and staff who will have to shore these individuals, and our children will surely feel that burden. I need transparency from HISD on what constitutes qualified before I could even consider this. And if we must any non-certified teachers with the same appraisal system that's in place, or if we are moving forward, we need the same appraisal system so that we can.
Thank you, Ms. Sangerhausen. Yen Rabe.
Yen Rabe, you may turn on your camera and begin. I believe you're on mute.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, you may begin.
Okay. Hello, my name is Yen Rabe. I am a community member, tax-paying community member, and a certified teacher with 18 years of teaching experience. Please vote against the DOI exemption this evening to allow hiring uncertified teachers. The district already has the ability since 1995 to hire non-certified teachers for core subjects, and since 2015 to hire teachers for CTE subjects. So why is Mr. Miles pursuing this exemption? The benefit to the district eliminating certification under a DOI is that the district can also remove the requirement of parental notification that their child is being taught by a non-certified teacher. Is it that Mr. Miles not have fidelity to parents, to not want to be transparent or accountable to parents? Please vote no tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Monique Mahler.
Monique Mahler, you may turn on your camera and begin.
Hi, thank you. My name is Monique, and I'm a parent of 2 students at HISD. Certification should be a non-negotiable when considering employing teachers. We have numerous long-tenured teachers who have received proper education to become teachers. Allowing others to teach without proper certification degrades those teachers and further harms our children. I understand it is difficult to get qualified teachers in place, but perhaps paying them a proper wage, not measuring their success by one test that we know is not indicative of actual learning, and not expecting them to put their lives on the line every day because we refuse to address gun safety issues could be used as tools to entice people that are actually dedicated to the profession. Mike Miles and this board purport to have the district's best interest and the children in mind, but all actions thus far have proven otherwise. Please vote no on the DOI plan. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mahler. Lucretia Allen.
Lucretia Allen, you may turn on your camera and begin.
I'm Lucretia Allen, the parent of a fourth grader at Lantrip Elementary and the vice president of the PTO. Request for waivers to bypass parents' notification, increase class size, and hire non-certified teachers indicate a lack of accountability for the potential destruction Mike Myers is working towards. Current studies highlight the negative impact of increased class sizes on test scores and learning outcomes. With an aim to enhance academic performance, the question arises, how can teachers effectively assist more than 22 students? Certification reflects the knowledge of a professional. If you wouldn't see a non-certified doctor, why allow a non-certified teacher to teach? The beauty of the internet is you can research everyone's resume. The DOI plan, developed in collaboration with 2 attorneys, 1 board member, a pharmacist, a lobbyist, and a doctor, lack input from individuals with direct K-12 education classroom experience, real stakeholders such as teachers, principals, and counselors with relevant degrees. Paying school taxes should guarantee a service, yet Mike Myers appears to fall short.
Josephine Smith.
Tomorrow on Houston's Morning Show.
Josephine Smith, you may turn on your camera and begin. Josephine Smith, you may turn on your camera and begin.
Good evening, and thank you very much for the work you've done on your committee. I support Houston ISD becoming a district of innovation. I believe Houston Independent School District should have the authority and the flexibility to adopt policies that best serve the children in our community.
Smith, you may turn on your camera and begin.
I'm sorry, I'm speaking. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so I'll start over. I support HISD becoming a district of innovation. Good evening, and thank you very much for the work done on your committee. I support ISD becoming a district of innovation. I believe independent school districts should have the authority and the flexibility to adopt policies that best serve the children in our community. Sorry, I'm speaking. Can you hear me?
Ms. Smith, can you mute the meeting on your end?
I'm sorry, yes, tell me again.
Ms. Smith, we're going to move on to the next speaker, and we'll come back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Danielle Amoa.
Danielle is not in the Zoom at this time. Danielle is not in the Zoom at this time.
Allison Chapin.
J. Allison Chapin, you may now begin. Please turn your camera on.
A rare first-class menu from the Titanic sold for more than $100,000 at auction. The menu is heavily water-stained with some of the letters partially erased, but you can still make out the option of salmon, beef, or lamb for the main course. The date on the menu shows it's from a few nights before.
J. Allison Chapin, please turn on your camera. You may now begin.
Ms. Chapin, we're going to move on and we'll come back. Danny Hernandez.
Now at 6, a shocking judgment for the man who killed a rising R&B star while driving intoxicated. How the family of the victim is reacting to it.
Danny Hernandez is not in Zoom at this time.
We have a live report coming up. Plus, a
Melissa Law.
robbed at gunpoint outside the South End home, who police are now looking for. And a Houston legend and former Oilers quarterback is now
Melissa Law, you may turn on your camera and begin.
to the Houston Sports Hall of Fame. The News Edge Early Edition starts right now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Rashi Batson for Anthony Antoine, and topping our rundown is the man who killed
Miss Law, you're still on mute. If you can go ahead and unmute and begin.
I'm a parent speaking on behalf of an HISD teacher who didn't feel comfortable sharing this herself, but she's telling me something. As an HISD teacher who has grown more and more concerned about the relationship between HISD and its teachers and the community as a whole, I don't believe that voting for the DOI will improve that relationship. Considering that the initial DOI committee did not include teachers, I'm immediately hesitant on trusting HISD to act in the best interest of students, teachers, and families. I would like to be clear that DOI as a concept is not the problem, so much as the lack of trust in HISD. There are too many questions still left unanswered when it comes to how exactly HISD intends on using the exemptions they're asking for. Can we rely on HISD to listen and take into account the input from stakeholders such as teachers and parents? Can we rely on HISD to not go back on what they had initially agreed upon? Until HISD has built back its trust with the community, it cannot be trusted to be a DOI. Right now, we need to focus on repairing the relationship between HISD and the community and supporting our students. Please
Thank you,
vote
Ms.
no.
Law. Nathalie Reyna.
Nathalie Reyna is not in the Zoom at this time.
Erica Garcia.
Erica Garcia is not in Zoom at this time.
Ruth Kravitz.
Ruth Kravitz, you may turn on your camera and begin. Ruth Kravitz, you may now begin.
Thank you so much. I'm a retired teacher and administrator and co-founder of CVPE. If we had an elected board accountable to the public and a superintendent who spoke the truth, I could support some aspects of DOI like an earlier start time, but there's nothing, no guardrail, no legally binding anything to keep Miles to his word. I oppose the teacher evaluation system exemption. It will send teachers fleeing to other districts, and this is bad for school children. I oppose eliminating the certification requirements for high school teachers. If approved, the state is legally obligated to issue a blanket exemption from all certification requirements, regardless of Miles's assurances that it will only be for high school. In a study of 400,000 HISD students over 6 years, certified teachers were found to be significantly more effective than teachers without certification. Education reform should begin by imagining schools that students want to attend and that teachers want to work in. This is not that. Please vote no. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Kravitz. Courtney Revels.
Courtney Revels is not on Zoom at this time.
Jane Frio.
Jane Frio, you may turn on your camera and begin.
Good evening. My concern with HISD becoming a DOI in this process is related to the hiring of uncertified educators. HISD special education is still in non-compliance with the TEA and has been for many years. It's important for this committee to understand that the majority of students receiving special education services in HISD have a placement code of 40, which is a mainstream general education setting. This means that HISD educators in general education classrooms must be trained and knowledgeable in delivering special education services to students in that setting. Special education is not a place. This committee of non-educators likely does not understand that. And in voting for DOI, you are further hurting students like mine, who sits in CTE classes in high school with these same kinds of issues. The district is not in special education compliance now, and if you give the district the authority to hire uncertified teachers, the district will continue to fail students with disabilities.
Thank you. I'm going to go back through all of the Zoom speakers who were not present and give them an opportunity to speak if they are now present. Christina Acosta. Lauren Simmons.
Oh, sorry. Christina Acosta is here. Christina Acosta, please turn on your camera. You may now begin.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Oh, hold on. I'm trying to find my notes. Okay, my name is Christina Acosta, and I've been a parent volunteer for over 12 years and counting. Vote no on the DOI plan. Hiring of non-certified teachers is unethical. You shouldn't go to a doctor who did not pass the board exam. Even if he did well in medical school, he has not been certified to, he has not been certified to practice. And if he does do that, then it is malpractice. Please, we need the best certified teachers, not uncertified, unknowledgeable people with a pulse to teach our children. I'm reminded of the quote, "Don't sit down and wait for the opportunities to come. Get up and make them," by Madam C.J. Walker. Like her, I'm the voice for my children, for our Latino communities, por el pueblo de habla español. For a better HISD, for the sake of our children, please vote no on the DOI plan. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll now go back to 3 speakers from Zoom who were not present the first time around. Sarah Lyons.
She's left. She left.
Okay. J. Allison Chapin.
J. Allison Chapin, you may now begin. J. Allison Chapin, you may now begin.
Ms. Chapin, you may begin. Ms. Chapin, if you can hear us, you may begin. Let's move on to Josephine Smith.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
My name is J. Allison Chapin. Okay. My name is Allison Chapin. I am here to ask you to vote no on DOI. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please begin.
Okay. I'm asking you to vote no on DOI. Teacher appraisals are too important to be quickly put together by Mr. Miles. Class size waivers are too important. Teachers can't teach 28 first graders or 30 kindergartners governors. Please vote no. Please vote no. We don't need any more musicals in piece of professional development.
Thank you. Josephine Smith.
We've put in tens of millions of dollars to this problem, and yes, the backlog is down, but the population is still high.
Josephine Smith, you may begin.
Go ahead, Ms. Smith.
Thank you. I support HISD becoming a district of innovation. I believe HISD should have the authority and the flexibility to develop policies that best serve the students in our community. And these would include setting the school calendar, the daily school class schedule, attendance policies that best advance student success, and developing an appropriate teacher evaluation program. I hope this committee will vote yes on this innovation plan, and thank you for your hard work. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. Danny Hernandez.
Danny Hernandez, you may now begin.
Hi, my name is Danny Hernandez, and I have been a student, teacher, administrator, and I am currently the trustee for HISD, the elected trustee for District 3. I would first want to thank everyone on the DAC because I know that you're volunteering right now and that you want to do what's best for students in HISD. And I'm here in support of the DOI, although I agree that it's not perfect. I support a flexible and earlier start time to the calendar year, and I know that this is essential for the majority of our students. Moreover, the school-to-prison pipeline is real. Sending students to DAP for vaping contributes to the school-to-prison pipeline, and we need to ensure that we are protecting our students. Teacher vacancies for CTE courses have also been historically hard to staff, and we need to make sure that our students have teachers to teach the courses so that they have the opportunity to take the courses that they want. Right now, we have an opportunity to change and make positive change and real change for HISD students, so please don't miss out on this opportunity.
Thank you, Ms. Hernandez.
Thank you.
That concludes the public comment portion of our agenda. I'd like to thank all of our speakers who are here in person, as well as the speakers on Zoom, for joining us this evening and sharing their comments. We'll now transition to a presentation from the District of Innovation Committee.
That's what makes it so much more special being here in Houston, because this was home for me for like 16 years.
Moon will join Houston Comets legend Cynthia Cooper and Astros legend Lance Berkman when they are inducted in January of next year. And that wraps up your rundown, but we have a lot more ahead on the News Edge Early Edition, including new numbers when it comes to inflation and what it could mean for everyday items ahead of the holidays.
Thank you. My name is Edgar Colon, and I am a member of the District of Innovation Committee. And again, I want to welcome everybody to our meeting. And obviously, I want to thank all of you, not only the members of the DAC, but also the members of the public for the time that they're spending here. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedules to be with us in this very important day. As we all know by now, the district, in terms of District of Innovation, the flexibility became available since 2015 by the Texas legislature, and 973 school districts are DOI. That represents roughly 95% of the districts in the state. We believe that HISD students also deserve the flexibility that is allowed by a DOI plan. The purpose of the plan is to act in collaboration with stakeholders and allow the district to improve student outcomes and deliver more services effectively by exempting the district from specific statutory requirements. Here are the members of the DOI committee. As you are going to see, I believe that we have a very diverse group in terms of all walks of life. We have staff members that we needed for the research that we require in writing the plan, parents, educators. They have been part of this committee. Also, you're going to see diversity in terms of race, gender, and professions. The timeline. As we know, we started the process on September 14th, when the DOI committee was appointed by the board. Then we started our work September 26th. And in this, I have to mention that there has been a lot of work, as we reported to you last week. We met over 10 times, and one of the things that we realized very early on in the process was that we were going to have to meet a lot more days, and as we started meeting a lot more days, we also started to extending the hours of our meetings as we realized the challenge that we had at hand. A couple of the things that I also mentioned last week are worth repeating. There were a couple of words that were coming over and over again in our DOI meetings, and it was research and rewrite, research and rewrite. We challenged the staff to give us more data to back up the guidelines and the exceptions that we wanted. And we were also asking we challenged ourselves, challenged the committee, and challenged the staff to come up with the guidelines that were going to serve as guardrails when we are putting together our plan. So back last week, November 8th, we presented the plan to you, to the DAC. After the meeting that we had last week, DOI went back to committee. We went back and took all of your comments extremely seriously, and we revised the plan as you have it today. The plan was then posted back on November 10th, the 30-day requirement per law, and here we are ready to vote on the plan that we are presenting to you today. If the DAC approves this plan by a majority vote, then the plan is going to the board at its December 14th meeting, where it would require a 2/3 of a vote for the plan to be implemented and adopted. Just a very quick overview, a snapshot of the plan. There is an introduction that we want to support student achievement. There is a timeline that I just explained. The term of the plan is 5 years, beginning January 2024. We have a comprehensive educational plan, and here we want to align the plan with the vision stated by HISD's board. And then we have exemptions and innovations, and these basically fall into 3 strategic priority areas. One, the quality of instruction, modern staffing, and improved schools. You're also then going to see, as we discuss the plan, you're going to see a framing. And here we are basically, again, explaining the rationale and the benefits for each proposed exemption. We again challenge the staff to give us comparable data from Texas and the country in support of the particular exemption that we are proposing. And then number three, implementation guidelines that are going to provide clear expectations of what we expect from HISD leadership. With that, I pass the microphone.
Thank you so much, Edgar. My name is Lauren Haller-Fontaine. I am a product of HISD, and I'm raising fourth-generation HISD students. So this District of Innovation Plan means a lot to me and to my family and to the students of HISD. So I want to take us back a little bit and remind the folks in the room about what the DAC is. What is the District of Innovation Committee? And the DAC is a district-level committee that advises the board and the superintendent in establishing and reviewing the district's educational goals, objectives, and major district-wide classroom instructional programs. The purpose of the DAC is to promote the excellence in education and provide specialized supports for all HISD students through community representation. The DAC provides valuable input to the superintendent, to his leadership team, and to the Board of Trustees, who ultimately have the decision-making authority with respect to the district. The DAC is comprised of campus-based professionals. It's comprised of classroom teachers, district-level professional staff, parents, community members, and business representatives. The DOI committee is mostly made up of DAC members. And we are parents, we are educators, we are community members. We released the DOI plan, as Edgar mentioned, last Monday to the DAC. Then last Wednesday, we had a DAC meeting with feedback. And each one of the members of the DOI committee sat down with each one of you, and we got your feedback. We listened, and we implemented your feedback into the revision of the plan. So tonight we're going to highlight some of those revisions that we made based on what we heard from you all. So you spoke and we listened, and we removed 3 of the exemptions. The first exemption that we removed was the parental notification. We heard from the DAC and we heard from the community, and this was not a very popular exemption, and therefore we heard what you said and we removed it. The second exemption was the behavioral coordinator exemption. The DAC was concerned about the lack of a point person with respect to behavior and behavioral issues. While we did remove that exemption, we do hope that the community at the school works together. The behavioral coordinator, the teacher, the staff, and the principal work together with respect to behavior, because this is a community effort. It should not be one single individual who handles behavior for a campus. And the third thing that we heard was class size. The DAC stated that there wasn't enough clarity around the implementation, and you expressed concern about the impacts on teachers if this exemption was included. Again, you spoke and we listened. So now I'm going to start talking about the exemptions and the innovations and the updates that we made based on your feedback. And let's level set here. The goal of our District of Innovation is to do 2 things, right? It is to provide our students with a best-in-class education. This plan is about our students and providing the tools and the resources that they need for the future. And we're trying to prepare our students for Destination 2035. So the first exemption was the first day of school exemption. So HISD seeks the exemption to start instruction before the 4th Monday of August. Here's what we know. We know that research shows that extending the school year by more than 10 days improves student achievement more substantially than grade retention, highly effective teachers, and reduced class size. This is an exemption that we need. This is an exemption that our students need. We know that 99.3% of the districts with innovation plans have this exemption. So again, you spoke and we listened. So in our implementation guidelines, we added that the district should solicit community feedback with respect to any revised calendars. We also clarified that this innovation will be implemented in this 2024-2025 school year. However, during that school year, we will not exceed 180 school days for our students. And we additionally provided guidance to reiterate that a competitive compensation package reflecting the expanded duties would be implemented for our teachers. The second exemption is our teacher appraisal system. So HISD will develop a local teacher appraisal system to be implemented in the 2025 and 2026 school year. Again, you spoke and we listened. So we strengthened the implementation guidelines to provide clarity with respect to the development of this appraisal system. We delayed the implementation of this system until the 2025-2026 school year to allow for the feedback that we so desperately need with respect to this exemption. We also directed the district to solicit rigorous teacher and community input with respect to the system. We directed the district to solicit rigorous teacher and community feedback regarding how the different performance measures are weighted. So, for example, one of the possible performance measures will be student feedback. And so we want to have teacher and we want to have community feedback with respect to how much a student feedback will be weighted in the appraisal system. We also clarified the use of our student surveys and redirected the district to leverage best practices with respect to the teacher appraisal system. Next, we have our teacher certification. So with respect to teacher certification, HISD seeks the flexibility to hire non-certified teachers. Again, you spoke and we listened. One of the things that we have done initially, the implementation guideline provided that we would allow non-certified teachers for K through 2, then middle school and high school. But based on the feedback that we received from you, we removed elementary and middle school from this exemption, and we only focused on high school. We also, based on your feedback, we made the modification that uncertified teachers will need to be certified within 2 years rather than 3. And then we also made sure that it was clear that the district will have a rigorous hiring process with respect to non-certified teachers. But again, if you look at the implementation guidelines, we give priority to our certified teachers, and then we go from there. And I'd also like to address special education, bilingual education, and pre-K. Statutorily, those things cannot be included in this exemption. So rest assured that SPED, bilingual, and pre-K cannot be included in this exemption. We also just want to take it back to something that we said before. And again, we heard the community and we heard the DAC. So yes, we're asking for teachers to be non-certified, have the ability to have non-certified teachers with respect to high school. However, parents will be notified. So if we get this exemption, parents will still be notified because you spoke and we listened, and we removed the parental notification from the DOI plan. Last week, I was able to go to a middle school visit, and I witnessed a teacher apprentice teaching a class. I thought it was a certified teacher. She was amazing. She was enthusiastic. The kids were learning from her. She was infectious. And come to find out, she was a non-certified teacher, and she was a teacher apprentice. If this is done right, which is what we have put in our implementation guidelines, this can work for our students. Now, I'm going to turn it over to Bill to wrap this up.
Hi, good evening. Bill Horwath, HISD parent, community member, and consultant in education. I am going to continue forward with the remaining exemptions. So the next one up is staff professional development. This exemption allows the district to develop and support district and division-based professional development. It's important that the district ensures that all teachers and principals, all educators, are learning from instructional experts, being coached to achieve instructional mastery, and working collaboratively. And so we really are excited about this exemption. We, again, listened to your feedback as Lauren was talking through, and so made some modifications, especially as it relates to the implementation guidance on this exemption. We added some more clarity around campus-level PD will continue to occur, and indicated that most PD will take place at the campus location. We also committed to ensuring that each campus would have a role in designing PD offerings so that professional development can be tailored to the campus level. And finally, added some language to ensure that all professional development takes place in a productive environment with the appropriate number of attendees for the venue. The next exemption is the minimum attendance standard for class credit. This exemption allows flexibility for high school students to receive credit for out-of-school work or learning opportunities that can also count towards course credit. We think this is great for kids because it allows for students in good academic standing to focus on content mastery over seat time and prepares them for post-secondary work through multiple mechanisms. We again listened to some of the feedback that you provided us last week. You were so excited about this one. You encouraged us to consider expanding this one to the middle school grades as well. At this point in time, we thought it made more sense to maintain this exemption at the high school level, just thinking there's maybe a little bit too much risk allowing younger students to miss the instructional time. Two more. Okay. Visits to higher education. This exemption provides flexibility for students to visit higher education institutions as high school juniors and seniors and get an excused absence. Right now, there's only 2 allowed excused absences. This expands that to more days. We believe students in good standing should not be penalized for exploring options to find the one that's best fit for them after their K-12 experience here in the district. And after your feedback, we expanded this exemption to cover both military and trade schools as well. And then lastly, vaping and DAEP. HISD is seeking this exemption for mandatory DAEP placement for vaping-related offenses. We think this is good for kids because the state's zero tolerance policy requires removal on the first instance based on a first offense and does not allow for any discretion based on the nature of that offense. So we made a minor tweak to this one, again with the implementation guidance, clarifying the need to develop disciplinary interventions for repeat offenders in the implementation guidance. So just want to say thank you to the DAC members for all of your really helpful feedback. We really did try and take that into consideration in adjusting the exemptions, removing some in this final DOI plan. Lastly, we are excited that a lot of organizations have stepped forward to support this final DOI plan after it's been posted. We've included just a handful of organizations up on the screen here that we're particularly proud are backing this DOI plan. We know there's been a lot of discussion about how the DOI plan is best going to serve students most in need, and so we really think that, especially based on the support of some of these organizations, that this plan is going to support our students in need in the district. So thank you very much, and I'll turn it back over, I think, to Karen.
Thank you to Edgar and Lauren and Bill for presenting this evening, and to the entire DOI committee for the work that you all have put in over the last few months. We're now going to transition to our vote. We'll do a roll call of each member, and I'm requesting that everybody in the room give a verbal yes or no for your vote. either to approve the DOI plan or not to approve the DOI plan. So yes, if you're voting to approve, no, if you are not voting to approve. For all of our members on Zoom, when I call your name, please make sure your camera is on and give us a verbal yes or no vote. Sarah Anthony.
My camera's not working for some reason. I vote no.
Allure Anoma. Allure Anoma. Okay, we'll come back. Ajima Anogweji. Ajima. Rahan Atia. Rahan is not present. Caitlin Baldwin.
Yes.
Celeste Barreto Milligan.
Yes.
Shayla Bowden. Charlene Bustamante. Andy Cow. Jessica Carter. Jessica Castillo. I believe Jessica is not present. Paula Caesar. Tony Cervantes.
Yes.
Lucy Ceballos. Elizabeth Chapman.
No.
Edgar Colon. Naomi Doyle Madrid. Karen Duffy. Linda Flores Olson. Deidre Fontaine. Lauren Fontaine. Deetra Ford Robinson. Tasia Gardner. Clara Gerard. Heather Golden. Anita Griffin. Eileen Harrell. Sarah Hall. Jeremy Harris. Celia Hartman Sims. Mary Hendricks. I believe Mary is not present. George Hittner. Bill Horwath. Sarah Izquierdo, Kernard Jones, Zaire Juarez, Chandler Langham,
Yes.
Amy Maddox, Uche Ndefo, Daisy Nino, Tish Ochoa, Dira Parker, Terrence Rice, Roshunda Roberts Jackson. I believe she's not present. Christina Rodriguez, also not present. Marcos Rosales, Daniel Santos, Roxana Serrano, not present. Leslie Smith, Charles Stein, Janice Thomas, Gregory Thompson, Teresa Tran, Christy Turnquest,
Yes.
Jerome Vielman, Mac Walker, Stephanie Witherspoon,
No.
Bradley Ray, Stephen Wright. Okay, I'd like to go back through the people who are on Zoom to give them one more chance. Alora Anoma,
Yes.
Ajima. Is she still on?
Yes.
Thank you, I see you. Deidre Fontaine, Uche Ndefo, is there anyone present on Zoom who has not been able to vote? Okay, please be patient while we tally and compare the votes to make sure that we have the same numbers. Uche Ndefo,
Yes.
So myself, as well as the two co-chairs, all have the same vote tally. There are 41 yes votes and 18 no or not present votes. So the DOI plan has passed the approval of the DAC this evening. I'd like to thank you all for your time and your dedication this evening. That is the end of our meeting. I'll be back in touch with the committee the week after Thanksgiving in order to share updates about our next meeting on December 5th. Thank you.
Jane Long Academy. Today in class, we are going to be checking each other's heart rate and heartbeat with a stethoscope and a sphygmomanometer, also called a BP cuff. We want to wrap the BP cuff around your arm with the Velcro that is attached, and then you want to put the stethoscope right here on your arm, right near your artery. And then as you're putting the stethoscope right near your artery, you want to listen for the heartbeat. After you pump it with air, you then want to make sure you don't hear the heartbeat so that way you can get a steady rate and make sure you get an accurate reading. Then once you stop hearing the heartbeat, you want to release the air really quickly so that way the blood flow of your arteries can flow back into the arm and you can hear the heartbeat once again. We check blood pressure to make sure that we have a healthy heart and a healthy body. Jane Long is the only Futures Academy that offers medical coding and pharmacy tech. If you want more information, please visit the Houston ISD website.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
Hi, I'm Evian, and I'm in 9th grade, and I'm currently going to Jane Long Academy. Today in class, we are going to be checking each other's heart rate and heartbeat with a stethoscope and a sphygmomanometer, also called a BP cuff. We want to wrap the BP cuff around your arm with the Velcro that is attached, and then you want to put the stethoscope right here on your arm, right near your artery. And then as you're putting the stethoscope right near your artery, you want to listen for the heartbeat. After you pump it with air, you then want to make sure you don't hear the heartbeat so that way you can get a steady rate and make sure you get an accurate reading. Then once you stop hearing the heartbeat, you want to release the air really quickly so that way the blood flow of your arteries can flow back into the arm and you can hear the heartbeat once again. We check blood pressure to make sure that we have a healthy heart and a healthy body. Jane Long is the only Futures Academy that offers medical coding and pharmacy tech. If you want more information, please visit the Houston ISD website.
I surrender.
All right, pal.
Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
What's up?
We have a gun.
Why do you ask that, kiddo?
Can I play with it?
No, absolutely not. It's not a toy. You know that. Anyway, I need it to protect you, your sister, and Mom.
But what about the 8 kids who get shot every day by mistake?
Where'd you hear that?
Where do you keep it?
It's hidden.
I bet it's on the top shelf of the closet, under your sweatshirts. Is it loaded? Remember when I found my Christmas gift? You always told me to be curious.
No.
No, that's not what I meant.
And when it's just me and Mom, I could use a gun to protect her.
No, Justin, I promise. I'm always here for you.
But Dad, you're not always here.
Sunshine through today with seasonal temperatures. We should reach our normal high of about 82 degrees by this afternoon. Clear skies tonight with a low of 70.
Hi, welcome to the Rice Owl Lab at Mistral Center for Early Childhood. My name's Miss Espinosa, and I'm here to welcome you and to talk to you about today's lesson and things you'll see in the room today. We're going to be talking about the three bears today. Papa Bear came home. During today's read aloud of the three bears, the children were actually acting out the story of the three bears with me. They were engaging in the language. I changed my voice. When I was talking about being Papa Bear, I encouraged the children to use a Papa Bear voice. And at the end, you could listen to all the children growling, "Rrr." Then when we were Baby Bear and Baby Bear was finding that Goldilocks had broken his chair, eaten his porridge, and was sleeping in his bed, he cried every time, so the children loved joining in. Wah, wah. And those are things that are going to deepen their comprehension. Mistral Center for Early Childhood is proud to be part of Houston Independent School District, providing one of the best early childhood curriculums around. We're so excited to invite you to be part of our campus or one of the many other campuses here in HISD. Please look at the Houston ISD website to learn more about our school and all the great schools here in Houston Independent School District.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
You know, it took 20 years, and I got my third child, who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
Hi, my name is Miss Lacey, and I am an employee of Fondren Middle School. I am an 8th grade science teacher, and today we are traveling through stations. We're talking about the atomic structure of an atom. Station 1, we're talking about the Bohr model, where students need to be able to look at an atom and know how to plot it. Here's the know the shells and what electrons go where, and this is what we're doing, and how to find the number of neutrons, know the atomic mass. Station 2, we are talking about parts of the atom. The atom has 3 subatomic particles. They are the proton, which has a positive charge, the neutron, which has no charge, is neutral, and the electron, which has a negative charge. Station 3, element misfits. This is where they'll look at 4 different elements and need to see which one doesn't fit the group. And last but not least, but Station 4 is a vocabulary close, where they're taking the vocabulary they've learned for this unit and they're plotting it in, filling it in. Fill in the blank. And then they'll use the Freya model at the bottom. They'll pick any word that they like and then draw a picture, definition, and the characteristics of the word. Fondren Middle School is one of many IB schools in HISD. If you want more information about the IB program or any HISD school, please contact our website.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands? Yes. You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
Hola, bienvenidos al tour. Soy Catalina Caicedo y hoy estamos en la preparatoria Wisdom. Les cuento que este es un edificio que fue renovado en el 2017. Entonces, ahorita vamos a empezar a compartir con el cuerpo de entrenamiento oficial de Reserva Junior. Vamos a seguirlos y vamos a acompañarlos adentro, donde está el mayor, el director de estos jóvenes que están en este momento en el cuerpo oficial de entrenamiento junior. Left, right, left. Ya estamos aquí en la preparatoria Wisdom y vamos a ver cómo está entrenando el batallón número 11. Como pueden ver, esto requiere de muchísima concentración y práctica. Y por eso vamos a hablar con el mayor Corona. Y quiero preguntarle un poco acerca del propósito de este programa. ¿Cuál es el objetivo?
El objetivo simplemente es para mejorar a estos estudiantes que sean buenos ciudadanos.
Fabuloso. Cuénteme un poco, ¿qué estamos viendo atrás? ¿Qué están haciendo?
Ahorita están ensayando porque tenemos una competición de rifles y de banderas este sábado contra los demás programas de GRTC del distrito.
Fabuloso. ¿Cuántos programas hay adicional a este?
Hay 25 programas.
25 programas y ustedes son el batallón número 11.
Correcto.
Quisiera hablar con algunos de los estudiantes que nos hablen un poco más acerca de cómo se sienten en el programa.
Claro que sí.
Bueno, estamos aquí con la comandante del batallón 11, Virginia. Cuéntame un poco acerca de qué ha sido este programa para ti y cuánto llevas acá.
Pues en el programa llevo 4 años, comencé desde el 9º grado. El programa me ayuda mucho, me da mucha disciplina, me enseña cómo ser una mejor líder. Aparte de eso, me ayuda con mis clases. Si necesito ayuda en cualquier cosa, siempre sé que puedo regresar a JRTC y que en cualquier programa me pueden ayudar.
Bueno, y ya que te vas a graduar, este programa, tú me has dicho que te ha servido para esos procesos de liderazgo y de seguir avanzando en tu vida profesional. ¿Qué quieres ahora que te vas a graduar?
Pues todavía estoy muy indecisa. Sé que quiero estar en parte de la educación, así como ellos han hecho una diferencia en mi vida. Yo también quiero hacer diferencia en la vida de alguien más, maestra.
Wow, vas a motivar a otros jóvenes a que sigan estos pasos, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Bueno, fabuloso, Virginia, muchas gracias. Este ha sido el tour en la preparatoria Wisdom. Vimos cómo los estudiantes del JROTC practicaron y están ya preparándose para su competencia el sábado. Nosotros estaremos al tanto de un próximo tour en otra de las escuelas de HISD. Yo soy Catalina Caicedo. Nos vemos a la próxima.
Operation Wonder Park is a go!
There's nothing more powerful than imagination. But don't just imagine. Use STEM to change the world.
Who's with me? It's gonna hurt tomorrow.
If she can STEM, so can you. Find out more at SheCanSTEM.
What's up, y'all? I'm Malcolm Thomas, and we are back for another episode of the Tour and HISD Showcase. I'm here today at Addicts Middle School, where they have a phenomenal CTE program. They're a STEAM school, and today, y'all, they're doing an event called a Holiday Hackathon, a competition event. So we're gonna go in there, we're gonna check it out, see some of the different competitions that they're doing, and hopefully we can leave today learning something new about technology. Come on, y'all, follow me. All right, everybody, so we are here. We're right outside the gym. The students are gearing up for their first round of competitions. I'm hearing the excitement. I hear there's gonna be drones, robotics, so hopefully they can teach me a little bit about tech as well. So come in, let's get started, y'all. Oh, wow, y'all, look at this. Only in HISD do you have students here that are doing coding. doing robotics. These are our future technology majors of the world. They're gonna teach us a lot of things about technology today. I'm looking over here, I'm seeing drones fly. I'm seeing little obstacle courses too. I'm telling y'all, this is gonna be a great event. I'm just happy to be here at Addicts today. Come on, y'all. Let's watch, let's tune in, let's learn, and then we'll celebrate at the end. How about that? All right, I'm here, we're here. I see Miss Moore over here. I'm gonna go over here, ask her a few questions about what's going on today. Miss Moore, how you doing today?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, can't complain. Enjoying this cool event. So I'm here with Miss Moore. She's a magnet coordinator here at Addicts Middle School. And I just have a few questions for you. So how can programs like this, or this event, the Holiday Hackathon, how can it support CTE programs within the district?
So what a holiday hackathon does is it does exactly what it's doing. It's getting the kids engaged. It's teaching the kids to create, to dream, to problem solve, to do all those things that we're asking to do.
So how did this event, the Holiday Hackathon, how did it come about? Is this an event that Addicts host yearly, annually?
Well, actually, this is our first holiday hackathon, and we want it to be an annual event because what we want to do is make sure that we're engaging the kids in creating and dreaming and making sure we're building that capacity for them to have access and the skills needed for the 21st century careers. So that's what this does.
Ooh, look at this. This is the first time I'm seeing one of these up close and personal. I like how you doing this. I wish I could learn how to do it. What's your name?
Tremaine.
Tremaine? Yeah. What grade are you in, Tremaine?
I'm in 8th grade STEM.
8th grade STEM. Nice, nice. So I got a question for you, if you don't mind. What inspired you to be a part of the STEM program and the CTE program here at Addicts Middle School?
I had already had a loving for robots, and so I'd always dreamed of being a team leader of a robotics team. And so, and it's just like, you know, I love my friends, and just working together with me and my friends, us working together on, you know, the CTE competition. It's just, you know, it's just fulfilling all of my dreams.
There's been so many different competitions going on here today at Addicts Middle School for their holiday hackathon, and unfortunately, we've reached our last stop. We're here where they're doing underwater aerobics, underwater robotics. I'm sorry, I said aerobics. Underwater robotics. I mean, if I could swim, I would dive in there and do it right along with them. But I'm glad you all took the journey with me today to see a little bit of what HISD has to offer, right? They have so much to offer with the CTE and STEM programs here throughout the district. I've learned about drones today, so now when I see a little drone in the sky getting ready to deliver my food, I know what that is. I've learned about underwater robotics, talked to the staff, talked to some students. It's been an amazing day. So thank you all so much for taking this journey with me today. This is HISD, The Tour. I'm Malcolm Thomas. Come back next time, see what we have to offer. Because trust me, HISD has a lot to offer.
The forest is a whole hidden world of wonders. What better place to let your imagination soar? Experience nature and create a memory you can share. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest or park near you.
When I graduate high school, I plan on becoming a teacher, and HISD is helping me become college and career ready.
I just want the parents to know that they can expect the same level of care, commitment, and concern as it pertains to safety. Our officers will be readily available and visible, be it the campus officers as well as our patrol officers, and also that they know that they can still count on the district's #1 priority, which is the safety of our students and our staff. We want to create an environment in which students feel safe to learn, employees feel safe to work, and the community have confidence in the safety of the district.